Good day, everyone. This is Kathy. Welcome to this episode of the Scrap and Crafty Gardener. Today, I have had a request to make a child's train card. I have a lot of adult trains. I don't have a lot of child trains unless I open my Cricut, which I'm not want to do today. So I have this from Spellbinders. This is the Holiday Express. So I want to use this die set, and I have already cut out all the pieces parts. I cut out the engine in blue, and then I went with the rest of the primary colors. I did two cars in red and yellow. And then the wheels, you need to cut out one set of each of these for each car and the engine. So I needed to cut those out 3 times, and you only need one of the large wheels. Now I cut out a whole bunch of the silver pieces parts because I'm putting them on 3 cars, so I need several. And just one moment, please. Okay, I'm back. Sorry for that. I had a phone call in the middle. I got all my pieces parts cut out, and I'm going to get started. The first thing I want to do is I want to ink blend. But I'm making my usual 5x7 card today. This is 10 inches by 7 inches. Scored it at the 5-inch line, folded it, and creased it with my bone folder. And then I have a piece of black cardstock that is 6 3/8 by 4 3/8, and a piece of white cardstock that is 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. I use GinaK's Master Layouts 8, but if you don't have that, just cut it to size. And I'm sorry if my camera's looking a little dark today. I'm not sure what's going on with that. So I'm going to do some ink blending on here to kind of make a scene. And I'm just going to get out my grip mat. I'll leave the bottom plastic on because this tends to slide around on this silicone mat. All right. I'm going to start by putting down what looks like dirt. So I'm going to start with GinaK's Sandy Beach. And I just need my brown brush here. And I'm not sure what's on there, so I'm just going to use my grip mat to wipe it off with. And I just want like a light color down at the base. Just a little bit. It doesn't need to be anything spectacular. Most of this is going to get covered by the train parts. And then I'm going to go with a little bit darker. I'm going to use a little bit of charcoal brown that I kind of want to mix in with this, because this is dirt. All right, that's all that. Now I'm going to use green, and I'm going to go with jelly bean green for the bottom. And I'm going to go right over my dirt. This is making grass and a little bit of bushes or small trees kind of behind the train. And then I'm going with grass green, which is a darker green. Just to kind of give me 2 shades in there. Just like that. Nothing special. You don't have to be a super expert. Now, I am going to move this down just a little bit because I'm going to do my sky now. And I'm going to start with Tim Holtz Distressed Oxide in Tumbled Glass. And I'm just going to put a light, kind of a swirly coat on here. And this brush needs to be cleaned with alcohol. After a while, the bristles tend to get a little stiff. And a good cleaning with some rubbing alcohol just by a wet wipe will help that. Just a very light coating is all I need on there. And then I'm going to use my last color, Broken China. I like these 2 color combinations for a sky. And they don't need a lot of the Broken China. And I'm going to come down into the grass. Just like that. All right. Now, peel this off. I'm just going to clean this off with my tidy towel. Squeaky clean. Set that aside. Now, I'm going to have the train parts come down almost to the bottom of the card. And I'm using these line strips. I have, some of these are straight lines. I'm trying to pull one out to show you. Not as easy to do. Some are just solid lines and they don't have scallops. Some have a scallop on one side. I don't know if you can see that. They're just lightly scalloped. And then there's the occasional one in the middle that is scalloped on both ends. And it kind of looks like a train track to me. These are stickers from StampOnIt.net or Eureka Stamps. That's the company. Now I'm just going to put this right across my brown. Kind of right there. And just rub that down. Try and get your tracks straight if you can. And then I'm just going to wrap the leftover behind it. You could trim it off if you want to. All right. Now to put this engine together, I'm going to glue this back on here. I'm going to do the black. It should be the longest part of this card was cutting out all the little pieces parts for the train. Now, I did check on Spellbinders, and this train is not available through their website, but I found it on scrapbook.com and several other sites still have it in stock. It's an old one, but it's a good one. And actually, I'm just going to put this all together right now. And I'm going to use, nope, I don't have them out here. I was going to use my corners straight. Oh, yes, they are. They're right here. I need my 5/16. This is from Cricut Creations called the Lay It Straight tool. And I use the 5/16 when I use GinaK's Master Layouts 8. You put this right in the corner of your card and then stick that right down there in the corner. And it didn't work today. Well, I must have had it off balance. I'm trying to go too quick for my card. Now, lay that in there nice and straight. There we go. And then you have a perfectly even border all the way around. And I found the 5/16 works the best for the Master Layouts 8. Now, let me get my train together. I have them separated here. And I'm going to take all my little pieces parts. I'm just going to bring my glue press back up here. Now you could, since this was a Christmas train, you could cut all these pieces parts out in different colors. But I just decided to go with all silver. I thought that was, hold on, my computer battery is running out. That may be why it looks darker. Okay, where's the plug? Hello. I better put you on pause just a second. Found it. All right. As I was saying, you can cut these out in all different colors, or you could cut them all out in white and then color them how you want them, either with inks, alcohol inks, markers, any kind. I just decided to go with silver. And I'm not going to put all of the pieces parts on that the picture calls for. It has several different little pieces parts there. And I'm not going to put anything in the train cars. I just want this to look like a regular old train on the tracks. It just happens to be a little bit shiny. And I'm going to use the block there for coloring with my glue. Now there is a long piece that goes across here, and I may put that on. Yeah, that's it, I believe. Yeah, this piece goes down first. It's a little bit of a puzzle, and some of the pieces, honestly, I have not figured out where they're supposed to go. Seems to be a shadow. I do apologize for that. Now for the wheels. Now I have found, I've been looking for a double-sided adhesive that cuts out well, and I found it at the Adventures in Stamping show. Creekbank Creations sells this massive thing. This die cuts and sticks very well, and I have used that for the wheels on here. All I have to do is peel the backing off. Now I'll put the large wheel in the back, and the one I already took the backing off somehow. But it has these little parts that go, so you need to figure out where the pieces go as to how to put your wheels down. If that makes sense. I'll try to get this. Now there's a shorter one. Let's see. That's another long one. Well, I'll use the other long one. Let's see if I can make it work here. Yeah, that'll work. Just have the wheels spaced a little bit further apart. All right, now there's our engine. Isn't that cute? And yes, the wheels aren't spaced perfectly. My husband, who was a train enthusiast, would say, you know that's not right. But a young little boy or an old lady, we're not going to know the difference. Now I'm going to put this over here. And I'm just going to put my block on there just to hold that down. Now putting the cars together is easier. I'm just putting one strip across the top. Well, as long as I don't turn it upside down. Now how this is designed, they show another strip across the middle. I don't think it needs that for this. You could even write on here maybe the recipient's name. Now I'm going to use two wheels, and then they have the shorter piece. And I think I didn't cut enough short pieces to put the wheels on. So I'm going to put one wheel, get the short piece, figure out where the other wheel goes. And I hope I'm not in the way of you seeing this. Yeah. All right, now I'll just glue that short piece down. And there's one card finished. And we'll do the second card the same way. Now you could fill this with gifts. You could put maybe birthday balloons coming out of this. Just a cute little engine. And the cars are adorable too. That's a longer piece. Let's see. Well, I will just use the longer piece. I would love sets, like if you need to have more than one of something, that it would cut more than one for you. But that would be expensive. There, so that one's going to have wheels that are a little bit further spaced apart, and that's okay. All right, now you need to use one of these, just a silver piece that is going to hook the cars together, and you don't need the whole thing, just need a little piece. So I'm going to glue this down and kind of tuck it behind the engine a little bit. Just tuck it in there. And then glue the first car down. Make sure your wheels are on the tracks. See, I have the big wheel off, and then the small wheels are on. And that's the ones I want to keep on the track, are the small wheels. All right, and then I'm going to take another one of, I'll just use another one of these long silver pieces that is meant for decor. Okay, that was weird. My computer had just shut itself off even though it was plugged in. I think I was explaining that this piece was meant to serve as a decoration on one of the car pieces, but I chose to use it as the hitch. And I'm just going to cut this down. I don't need the whole piece. Well, I'll take the cover off your scissors. I'm just going to tuck that in behind this engine, or this car, not the engine. And then glue this car down. Kind of got to wonder if there's solar flares out there today. A lot of electronics have been going kind of wonky for me today. All right. Okay, now I'm going to put birthday on here. And I've got this happy birthday. I left the die right in here. And there we go, because it's still in here with the sticky adhesive on the back. And I just need to pull out the centers that don't need to be there. and pop this out of the frame. That's one thing with the adhesive. I have found that with my machine, I need to add the metal shim for cutting it all the way through because it does make for a thicker piece of paper. And sometimes the stickiness causes it to stick inside the die. But boy, does it save a lot of trouble. And I'm just poking out the centers. Oh, for goodness sakes, someone's at the door. Okay, now I just have to pop these out from the center. And then put that on the card. Make sure I don't have any of the parts still on the back. And then just get this stuck down. And just like that. Now I'm going to use a little bit of, no, it doesn't need any more bling. All right, that is my card for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day.